This program is brought to you by Taom Billiards.
Too fast, too fly, too flaunty, too gas, too high, yeah, we on it. We go wherever the crew going. I'm ready, so tell me who want it.
Evening, welcome back to the Super Series pool here on Free Sports. Round one of the Super Series concludes tonight, and enter the Welsh Wizard. We've had 8 shootouts, he's been in 7 finals and won 5 of them. Jordan Shepherd is the man to beat tonight. In his way is shootout rookie Mason Penny, who has everything to gain and nothing to lose from tonight's encounter. If that doesn't quite tickle the fancy though, last night's action certainly will. A shootout masterclass from Sean Story.
This for 3-2, with less than 4 minutes remaining in the first set. Oh, I don't believe it! Oh, he's going to have to delve into the box of tricks here. Oh, the double was onto the top corner. It was on!
What do you think as a pool player?
Goodness me. Absolutely volleyed that red into the corner there, didn't he?
Creating angles that aren't there. This is almost straight. Look at that white.
Crikey O'Reilly. He was 4-1 down in this set.
He's got to run around the table here. This is going to be tight.
Sean Story for a Herculean comeback out of nowhere. Has done it. How about it?
Absolutely incredible. How has he done that? He was gone, 4-1 behind. He was absolutely gone. He's got to win a minimum of 2 frames in 5.5 minutes.
Where's that back going? Goodness me.
Once again, isn't it? It really is. It's incredible.
Watch it from the start. This is amazing.
It's on. It's never touched. It is never touched.
If ever there was a game of 2 halves, it has been this match here. Sean Story was absolutely nowhere, and now he's in the quarterfinals. An incredible streak from Sean Story. Well, an incredible streak from Sean Story, and what a story it was. He was absolutely dead and buried, it seemed like, in that match against Simon Fitzsimmons, and it all changed around with the magic of the shootout clock in the second set. Welcome to the Super Series pool. Stephen Jameson and Simon Webb with you. And Simon, before we move on to tonight's game, which will be fantastic to watch, let's just look back on what was an amazing performance in the end from Sean Story. We say it was out of nowhere. We really do mean it. We take a look at the first shot in that sequence. A dolly of a black. He was struggling for confidence, struggling for rhythm, and then exploded.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be the defining moment in the match. Missing that black in the first set, it cost him. He was rattled in the second set. He didn't play very well, went 4-1 behind. But from somewhere, he found a brilliant 8 minutes, turned that set around, and then there was only one winner. He rattled Simon, and Simon wasn't able to respond. Brilliant stuff from Sean.
Well, I've got a fantastic game for you tonight. Jordan Shepherd in action. Many of you viewers on Free Sports very familiar with his work. 8 finals, 7 he's been in. He's only missed 1 final and he's won 5 of them. This is a shootout master, Simon.
It really is. On paper, before this event was first played, everyone said this format is going to suit Jordan, and it really has. I mean, it's easy to say it, but he's really backed it up. Being in that number of finals, winning that many titles, it's so impressive. And it's such a volatile format of the game. It's so hard to do what he has done.
It certainly is, and we spoke to both of our players tonight a little bit earlier.
Sheppy, great to have you here at the Super Series, back for another shootout event. You come here as the shootout star, the favourite for the event. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. I've practiced a few times, I felt really rusty, but I had a knock for half hour, and just felt like usual. It felt okay.
Mason, great to have you here at the Super Series. Before we get on to tonight's match against Jordan, I just want to take you back to the start of your career, which for you isn't that long.
No, we was just having this conversation. I played snooker previous to this, and then I gave up snooker when I was about 16, and one of my local friends was begging me to join a pool league, and I started about 3-4 years ago. And that's it really. It's just excelled from there.
Sort of hooked from the start. Is there something that really appeals to you about pool over snooker?
No, if I could see better, I'd still play snooker, but for now, obviously, the pool table is good fun.
Before we talk about tonight's match and this event, I want to take you right back to the start of your career and get an understanding of how you got into the sport.
My mother used to run a pub when I was about 9 or something, and just always used to love playing. Just badger everyone to try and get them to play against me and stuff, and then just gradually went from there. I think I started playing properly then when I was about 13, 14 or something. Played all the tournaments and stuff, and pretty fast like improvement and that, and obviously a couple of lean spells in between, but since then it's been pretty much all good.
How's lockdown been for you?
Yeah, it's alright. I didn't work for it. I was, I can't remember the word of it now, but...
Furloughed?
Yeah, furloughed. Didn't really do a lot, so I was just chilling at home.
Is it always been pool? Have you mixed in a bit of snooker and, you know, you're pretty good at snooker as well?
Yeah, bits and bobs. Never no prolonged period of snooker, but yeah, I do enjoy playing when I get a chance. It's just so much pool on, you don't really get that much chance to play. I think you shouldn't. It's tough when you mix the two. I do believe snooker is good for your pool game, but if you play too much, then it can be a bit of a hindrance because it is too different.
And I know you've got a table at home, but did you put any time in?
I didn't think I was going to be playing a tournament, so as I say, I didn't really, until the last week I've played twice, but other than that, not really.
So far, your background in pool has been money matches, not that many tours. I know you played some of the Supreme Series.
Yeah.
Is it money matches that you like to focus on?
Yeah. I get more of a buzz from money matches. This event looks absolutely fantastic, and when it's got the crowds, it looks like a right buzz, so I'm happy to be involved.
We've seen you win lots of titles in the shootout, lots of titles on the IPA tour. What's left for you to achieve?
Well, obviously, same as everyone. I think I'd love to win the World Championships, but you can never seem to win a match there, really. So, not the most favourite event for me. But well, obviously, same as everyone, I'd love to win it one day, and hopefully, I can do it one day.
Obviously, tonight is your first shootout event. How excited to get going in this format of the game? I know you've been putting time in at 15 seconds.
Yeah, the 15-second shot clock, I just love it. I think it's absolutely class, so I'm looking forward to it.
And one unique thing for this format is the golden break, and you've been putting a bit of practice in trying to make the golden break happen?
It's a rule I don't like, but you've got to use it to your advantage, so I think it will work well.
Your opponent tonight, a player that you've not played before, do you know much about, Mason?
All I know is he's a nice lad, but pool-wise, I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue, so unknown factors tonight.
And one of the interesting things with this format of the game is the golden break. Do you change your break in any way? Do you try and chase a golden break?
Not really, my break's pretty good, so I tend to leave like a lot of easy run out, so obviously there's a chance the black can always go in, but I don't try and change that to try and get in, no, just try and hit them as good as I can.
Wish you all the best tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Aaron.
And your opponent tonight, he's pretty much owned this format of the game. Excited to play Jordan, but have you got any ideas how you're going to combat his sort of skills?
The pressure's all on him. No one expects anything from me, so I'm just looking forward to the challenge.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Mason Penny looking forward to the challenge, and some really refreshingly honest answers there, Simon. He's a confident young man, and he's really up against one of the best players in the world here tonight.
He is, and I couldn't say it better. He's come here, he is confident, but he's saying the pressure's on Jordan, and he's going to come out, he's going to play his stuff, and we know very little about him here on Free Sports. We know everything there is to know about Jordan, and he will start this match as favourite, but if he doesn't turn up, Mason looks confident, looks like he could take him all the way.
Yeah, we're just watching the lag to decide who's going to break first here in the West Midlands. And the action is almost ready to get underway for us in just a moment. Looks like Mason will have the first break, but it's going to be a good one. We cannot wait for this one. Jordan Shepherd versus Mason Penny is next. Welcome back to the Super Series pool here on Free Sports. Stephen Jameson, Simon Webb with you all evening long as round one concludes here tonight. We've waited the whole competition to see this man in action, Jordan Shepherd against Mason Penny. It's Mason who has the break first off here. Simon, what does Mason need to do to have a chance of winning this one? He's a big underdog, but he's got a fighting chance as anyone has.
Well, the Blacks close in the first break. Mason just needs to play his own game. He needs to forget the fact that he's playing Jordan, forget about all the titles that Jordan's won. He's a confident player, he's a confident young man. He just needs to make the most of his opportunities. And we saw last night, you can really put some pressure on your opponent when you're taking your chances.
Yeah, he's been talking about how much he's practiced on getting the Black moving towards the pockets. And he very nearly had a golden break to kick us off. Reminder, golden break, Black off the break. In the frame. It's a difficult first pop for Mason. He took on the double, jawed it, and Jordan Shepherd lightning quick out of his seat to take on this clearance. He is a great player to watch. And for those who maybe aren't familiar with Jordan Shepherd's body of work, why do we make such a big deal out of this young man?
Well, the titles he's won in this event, you know, say it all, but we said before this event started that this is an event that would suit him because he plays at the biggest change from the professional tour to this event was the 15-second shot clock, and everyone felt that Jordan Shepherd wasn't going to struggle with that because he plays, you can see this is Jordan Shepherd's natural pace. This is how he plays this quickly all the time, so that the clock wasn't going to be as big a factor for him as it was for other players.
First frame is going to be out the way in absolutely next to no time. 90 seconds is all it took for Jordan Shepherd to take the first frame of the match. Leads 1-0 in the opening set against Mason Penny. A reminder of our rules for you. We are playing black ball rules, which means a ball must hit the cushion after contact. A foul introduces not 2 shots, but a shot and a visit on the opening shot. The opponent has a free shot. You can do whatever you want, and the visit continues as normal. Skill shots are in operation as long as you pot your own ball. You're allowed to pot another colour as well. Shootout introduces the idea of a golden break and a golden duck. Golden break, pot the black, you win the frame. Golden duck, you pot the black and the white, you lose it. Jordan did tell us in the build-up to this match, Simon, in his interview earlier, he doesn't really feel like he has to change his break because it works for him, it gets the spreads that he needs. And you can see there, for me, it's the most underestimated part of Jordan's game. Everyone talks about his speed, his flow around the table, his patterns, and the way he throws the cue ball about, but his break's phenomenal.
His break is phenomenal. It's never discussed in the same bracket as some of the other top players. There's a handful of players that have, you know, absolutely humongous breaks, and Jordan probably isn't one of those, but it's a break that very rarely gets him down. It's very, very consistent, and yeah, it is one that if you play as well as Jordan does, then chasing the golden break isn't as worthwhile for him because he's going to back himself to make these clearances, you know, so consistently that all he wants is a ball and a chance.
He's played into the bottom bag, and the second frame is going to be over in the blink of an eye. This is why we love watching Jordan Shepherd here on Freesports. He is a rocket around the table, simple as that, 2-zip. Reminder of the match format for you as well. We are playing best of 5 sets. The sets are half an hour long and a race to 5 frames. We will finish with whatever comes first, the 30-minute buzzer or a 5-frame advantage. 30-second shot clock in action for the first 15 minutes of the set. 15-second shot clock in action for the second half of the set. Sets can be tied if it ends 4-4, say. After half an hour, we will give each player half a point and roll on through. In the event of a tie at the end of 5 sets, we have a black ball shootout. I was going to say Mason Penny would end up being very unlucky not to make a ball there. He's breaking really well. He was a little bit unlucky, I thought, with his first break of the match that he didn't really have an easy chance to go at. This is not quite the case. He's got some balls out in the open here to play with.
This is the chance he would have wanted in the opening frame. This is much more like it. This is a chance that he'll feel he should make, although he's still got to put together 2 or 3 really good positional shots to work this one out. The Reds aren't too bad as we have a quick look at the spot for the sudden death tie break if we get that far. That little circle behind the bulk line is where the players will be playing from. biggest problem that Mason has in this finish is the black. The red that's nearest the bottom cushion, it's okay, it doesn't go to its obvious pocket, but it comfortably goes to the opposite corner and he can get onto it naturally and easily from there. Purposely leaving the red to the top right corner for his last ball so that he can come around 2 cushions to land on the black to the same pocket. So a nice pattern he's worked out here.
He's a fair amount of time to practice on this table. Mason Penny arrived nice and early this afternoon. He's not practiced at all during lockdown. Always difficult for a player just to pick up a cue and get going again. He's had some time to warm up and get back used to the pace of these tables and the speed of the game. Just having a little look at this one.
He's landed 2 straight. Unfortunately, I said he wanted to land with the angle to be able to come around 2 cushions for black in the same pocket. He hasn't got that option now. He was trying to create an angle that wasn't there. That hasn't happened. I don't think the double's on. The yellow's got to be in the way for that double, so this is tricky.
It's always tough to tell from this overhead shot. I think he's taking it on. He is! He is! Mason Penny on the boards. And what a way to do it.
Well, I said it didn't go. He was having absolutely none of it. Absolutely flew in. Brilliant shot.
A reminder of how the tournament stands thus far. These two are facing off for the right to play Alex O'Donoghue in the quarterfinals. Our lineup so far: Sean Story, Aaron Davies, Gareth Hibbett, John McAllister, Mark Farnsworth, David McNamara and Alex O'Donoghue. It is a tremendous lineup of quarterfinalists already.
Time running.
A reminder, they will be played over the course of 3 days towards the end of the month. It is a cannon of a break. Is he going to get kicked in? No, but this is a very interesting line here for Jordan Shepherd. Ball's flying down left, right and centre, and he's just so unlucky.
That's just really, really unfortunate. The white not going in, I suppose you can say, is a little bit lucky, because if the white goes in, he would probably lose the frame, but absolutely nothing he could do. A brilliant shot from Mason. I was wondering if he'd be aggressive and try and take the ball by the horns there, because if that yellow wobbles and stops over the pocket, then he's handing the frame over to Jordan. But you can look at the overhead, that plant is far from simple. Looks like Mason is in very aggressive mood to start this match.
I think he feels as if he has to fight fire with fire. There's no point coming out here and trying to play safe, because he knows Jordan won't particularly engage with that. Jordan's here to make clearances after clearances. Mason wants to do exactly the same.
You have to play your game, don't you? And that's the way Mason wants to play. Then he's going to continue to play that way. Position went wrong this time. Wasn't able to recover with the double. Had to swerve around the red to make the potting angle of the double, and wasn't able to move quite as far as needed. Not the best of chances of a counter clearance for Jordan Shepherd. And certainly not now. He's missed the opening pot.
Be a frustrating one for him. He's played the white absolutely perfectly. Look where he ends up, straight behind his problem ball. It wasn't the easiest pot, but it's certainly a pot you'd expect to make. Oh, it's not going to drop.
And it's a foul as well. The ball hasn't hit a cushion after contact with the yellow. The yellow went past the jaw and is hanging on the pocket, but it didn't actually touch the jaw. Watch this again. Watch the yellow. It doesn't hit the jaw at all.
And that was all caused because Mason was trying to take pace off the white to try and hold it, to keep the white down this end of the table for what would have been his final yellow.
He was playing it very delicately and just under. It was just a little bit too delicate. It's not the end of the world for him. Jordan hasn't played the best of 3 shots. He's wanted to try and, I think he was either trying to move the yellow away from the centre pocket. Well, it doesn't matter now because he's potted the yellow with the cannon into the black. So he's one good position onto the one down the rail. The one he's nearest to now, away from having this frame.
And that's what we talked about a little bit earlier. A perfect exhibition of the skill shot. As long as the red went down for Jordan, he's perfectly entitled to pop the yellow as well. That frees up the pocket for him. That's part of what makes black ball rules so exciting to watch. It's difficult to play overtly negatively. And when you've got this man around the table who's the antithesis of a negative player, often produces some fireworks, and he's going to have to produce some fireworks here because he's a mile out of position.
Yeah, he's got that one all wrong. He was trying to cannon into the black and say where exactly, put the white exactly where the black is. He did give some consideration to taking the red down the rail a couple of shots ago when it was a lot trickier than, you know, and he thought he could get better position on it.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot that is.
That's a great recovery, isn't it? I was about to say I bet he wished he had taken the ball down the rail, but he wouldn't now. That was a brilliant recovery. The thing that makes that shot so special is that the frame is lost if he misses it. The frame is absolutely done because the yellow's hanging, the black's hanging. Brilliant, brilliant shot.
Just so good. Just so good from Jordan Shepherd. Wonderful stuff. And if Mason Penny wasn't already aware, I think he was. But having seen it in person, he knows what he's dealing with now. The rumours were true.
Absolutely, and it's one of those as well that when he saw Jordan run out of position, his hopes would have, you know, he would have perked up. He'd have had a bit look from his chair, thinking, "Oh, I'm in here. I could well be going 2-2," and it's taken away from him. Almost hurts more than when you perfect all the way through the finish.
I think Mason's going to come up dry here. He is. Jordan again taking no time at all to jump up from his seat. Let's have a look at this table.
Doesn't want that yellow to get in the way, I think. Well, it's half in the way. You can see from this camera angle, the red along the bottom will go in. If he can play this off the yellow, it'll clear the pocket out the way. Something like that, and that nudge isn't bad at all.
Well, that's come out very nicely for him. I'm surprised he played it at that pace because it was a bit of a gamble, it felt like, but that's come out beautifully for him.
Yeah, probably did overhit it, but he really wanted to make sure that yellow got out of the way for his, what would have been his bad ball. Still a little bit fortunate to get that nudge in that way. Now they really are perfect for him. Had a quick chat with Jordan this afternoon before we did the pre-match interview and just asked how his form was he playing at all, and he's had a real break from the game, which he hasn't done for a long time, but he said he's really pleased with how sharp he is for having a break. He's normally the sort of player that likes to practice a lot. He feels rusty if he's not playing almost every day, but he said he was really pleased with how sharp he was feeling, and we've seen in the early stages here, he really is looking sharp.
Yeah, you can say that again. 4-1 in next to no time from Jordan Shepherd. Still haven't even touched the 15-minute mark here. And there you see the honour roll of Jordan Shepherd victories.
Countless finals. He's won the event many, many times now, and I mean, it's so impressive what he's done. It really is. It's such a volatile format, it really is. You could lose to anyone at any time. All those shootouts we saw there, they're races to 5. They're not in the set format where it's a little bit of a longer match. They were, you know, shorter races. So to win that many matches without losing is absolutely incredible.
There's been 8 shootout finals. Jordan Shepherd has just gone and hit a golden break. Wow.
What a way to win the first set as well.
That'll do it. 15-second shot clock, I don't think it was even called, and Jordan Shepherd has won the opening set by hook or by crook. Second set is on the way. Next. Now Welcome back to the Super Series pool here on Free Sports. Stephen and Simon with you all evening long, and at the minute that might not be a long time. Jordan Shepherd is a man in a hurry. The first set has already been undone. We didn't even need a 15-second shot clock. He got it done before half-time in that first set, Simon. That was exhibition stuff from Jordan Shepherd, and he has come as advertised.
Absolutely, very, very impressive. I'm really impressed with how sharp he started this match. He's normally a player that likes to play a lot, and he's rusty if he's not, or he has had a break from the game, and it looks like he's done him a world of good.
As we say that, he's just screwed in off the break, and you hear the frustration from Jordan there. Pretty annoyed with himself. And he's screwed straight into that middle pocket. You can see the amount of spin he gets on the ball. Almost U-turned into the middle. And a good opportunity here for Mason Penny, really good opportunity. Just needs to figure out the minefield here in the middle table. A lot of yellows blocking each other, or is he taking reds? He is indeed. He's just clearing the black ball down at the bottom. So he clears the yellows out with his free shot, and reds are the colour set for Mason Penny, who didn't really do an awful lot wrong in that first set, but quite a few players have entered the Jordan Shepherd spin cycle and come out the other side dishevelled and wondering what on earth happened. He's not the first, he won't be the last.
That's for sure. I think he's only missed one pot, possibly a double as well. But, oh, it's just going to drop, but is the white going to land? He might be okay. He's on this to the bottom right-hand corner. Not an easy pot, but he's got plenty of room for the white.
He's got away with that. He's played a really good recovery shot there, Mason Penny. Did get a little bit of luck to remain on that black, but he'll be delighted with it. That's the first frame of the second set. And here is Mason Penny. Mysterious Mason Penny. Just 24. Favourite ball player is Alan Matthews, and he's a big Ronnie O'Sullivan fan. There's a lot of key sports players are. And he's looking to play at that sort of pace this evening.
Yeah, absolutely, and he comes from a snooker background. Only been playing pool, he said this in his interview, only been playing pool for about 3 years. He's 24 years old, he started playing when he was 21. So yeah, he's fairly new to the sport, and we're probably going to see a lot more of him, because he looks we didn't see much of him in that first set, but what we did see, you know, he looked quite impressive.
That black is getting a lot of movement. It was getting close to that top corner pocket, wasn't it?
I thought this might just squeeze in. The red and the black are going up together, and I thought it wasn't far away from being squeezed in.
But in the end, it's actually come up dry, and this is a lovely spread for Jordan Shepherd. It really is. Just got to figure out the yellow at the top of the table. Needs to get in and out of that area. May even leave it till last to finish up on the black, but it's the problem with Mason's break. If he splits them really well and he's constantly looking to try and get that back towards the corner pocket, he's going to get a good split. If he doesn't pot anything else, he's going to be in a little bit of bother, because these are wide open now.
Well, we've seen, I know it's early stages, he's only had, I think, 4 breaks now, but he's a player that has gone away and he's looked at the break, and with the golden break rule in this competition, he's trying to find a way to get that black in motion. I was chatting to him earlier about it, and he's been practicing with Sean Story, who we saw last night get a lot of movement on the black, and they've both found a way to try and get that movement on the black, and with some success. I think Mason said in practice he made 12 golden breaks in 30 breaks, which is an incredible number. But the fact that I think he's him and Sean are the only 2 players I've heard of that are actually put time in practice and trying to make the golden break happen.
Just wants to avoid snookering himself here, and he's going to just drop it in to make sure this is going to be 1-1. Easily done for Jordan Shepherd. Another reverse dish for the Welsh Wizard. Here he is. Born in Wales, lives now in Doncaster. 29-year-old. Favourite pool player himself. We've done him a little bit of a disservice there. He didn't really have one, so he's been nominated. But
I think it's the fact that he's so many pool players' favourite pool player, so why not?
He's almost a pool player's pool player, isn't he? Because he garners so much respect for the way he plays, because it is relatively unique. There aren't many like him.
He's one of the pool players, one of the few pool players where the other top players would stop and watch if he was playing at an event. They would be there and watching him, because he is box office. He is entertaining.
Having said that, he's come up dry on this break. So a chance then for Mason Penny to respond to the reverse dish in the last frame from Jordan. You just get the chance, just get the sense rather, that if Mason Penny is to have a chance of pulling off an upset, it would be a massive one. Every chance he gets, he's got to really go after and take.
Yes, but he can't think. He almost can't think like that. He can't think, I have to play perfect balls to win this match. He just has to concentrate on that, chance after chance. You know, when he gets one like this, is a great opportunity. All the yellows have a pocket. He's a little bit congested at the bottom. It's about working your way around. When you get this sort of chance, just focus on it, make it, and see if you can get a run going. Because what we've seen from him so far, and we got to see him practice a little bit this afternoon, and he's definitely capable of running out rack after rack. So he just needs the opportunities. First time meeting Mason this afternoon. He's very confident. Comes across very nice, very friendly, but very, very confident. There was almost a steely determination about the way he was going to play, putting the pressure onto Jordan. But he did say he was really looking forward to playing in this format. I asked him about the 15 seconds and he said, I love it. I wish all ball was 15 seconds. And his plan was to play at 15 seconds all night long. He wasn't worried about the 30 seconds a night part of the match.
Well, the way these two are carrying on, neither of them are going to have to worry about the 15-second shot clock. I'm not sure we'll get there at this rate. Third frame rattled off. Mason Penny goes 2-1 up in set 2. This is Jordan's recent tournament history. He got to the semi-final of the UK Open in March before getting beat by Jordan Church, but there's some good names on that list. He's historically had a pretty tough time of it at the World Championships. And I know he said in his interview to you, Simon, that it's obviously his dream to be world champion, but he struggles to get a win at the World Championships. And it's a strange one, because as soon as that name's in the draw, very, very few people want to play him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the one question mark against his career, really. He's won so many titles on the IPA Tour. The graphic we've just shown you, so he's had a dip in form in the last 12, 18 months on the IPA, but before that, I think he won 3 titles in a season in 2018, so that gives you an idea of sort of the level he was playing at. But the World Championships is, for whatever reason, is a good run in the World Championships has eluded him.
Mason going in off the break has invited Jordan to the table. He's used his free shot to develop the bottom right corner. Red's the selection, which means he has got a ball to develop. The red and the black currently blocking each other. He may have the angle to go into them now. He does indeed. There you go. Problem solved in that sense. And I think in doing so, he might have made himself another problem. Does that red in the center of the table go to the bottom left or the bottom right?
Looks very tight. That helps. Still not out of the woods though. This next ball's tricky. He could probably clip the one he's next to back, but the white's going into the black, and then the black could potentially be going safe. He may play the next shot with a little bit of pace, maybe try and screw off the black. If he can play the plant in the center, this is high tariff, but big reward if he gets it.
He nearly did. He's frustrated with himself. Such a tough shot. We've discussed quite a lot about this table and how nice it is to play on, which myself and Simon can both attest to. The middle pockets are tight. They play true, but they are tight. There's no gimmies in there.
Yeah, beautiful table, black ball table we're playing on here at the Super Series, and I had a couple of goes on it in our time here, and it really does play beautifully. But those middle pockets are tight. You have to really mind your work on the centre pockets, which I really like. I think it's nice to have a tight centre pocket. And, make these players have to work hard. Is that the first safety shot we've seen in this event? In this match? Could well be.
I think it is.
Foul. 1 free shot, 1 visit.
And it's worked a treat for Mason Penny. He's got exactly what he wanted out of that. It was a risk.
It was a risk because the way Jordan played that, he was looking at using both draws with control and then trying to rest up onto the reds and get snooker back. And if he had managed to get that snooker back, it would have been a tough hit. But Mason does get the reward. Purposely missing that red. He was just about clearing the pocket. And he's done that very well. He's probably played for that as well. Get it out the way.
Yeah, this match is rattling along at a fair old pace. It's great to watch.
This is a tough shot. This needs good cueing.
How about that?
That will do you. That will do you. Lovely stuff from Mason. Oh, that's not lovely. Well, I don't think this cuts back.
Now he's in trouble. It's the thinnest of thin cuts if it does, and I'm not sure it doubles. He's looking at playing it in off the 2 reds there. That's what he's just lined up. Let's see, he's already had 1 show-stopping finish. He needs another, and he's missed it by about 1 millimetre.
Wow, that was so close. Any flick on that red, which is exactly what he was playing, and that was in. But it has to be said, that was a slightly careless one. All the hard work was done when he made that pot down the rail. Just had to avoid the red, land nicely on the black. And the frame was his. And now he's going to have to sit and suffer.
Just shows you how Jordan Shepherd's feeling, by the way, to cut that red into the middle pocket, knowing full well that if he misses that, it is frame done and dusted. That was not an easy starting shot. Wasn't an easy second shot. And Mason Penny is offered a reprieve.
Poor from Jordan. Wasn't the easiest ball. Oh, that's very poor from Mason. 2 opportunities to win this frame. And that's going to be tricky. This is I mean, he wasn't particularly close, in truth. That's a very difficult one to take. I think any time a top player gets let off, they go from strength to strength. When you're playing a player like Jordan or any top player, when they make a mistake, you have to pounce, you have to punish it, you have to hurt them. And that was an opportunity for Mason to do so.
Just didn't seem to cue it cleanly, particularly. It almost as if he was trying to take pace off the white. I mean, I can't imagine that'd be the case. He didn't need to do anything with the white.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he had this left centre pocket in his mind that he might go in off if he played it plain ball. Difficult to say. Either way, it's gone against him, and it is a poor error.
Well, the scrappiest frame we've seen so far, I'd say, but it's 2-2 in the second set. These are the highlights of Jordan Shepherd, and we talked about those 3 wins in 2018. The English, the European professional competitions, as well as the World Series final in the Netherlands. 3 brilliant victories. He got to the quarters of the Champions Cup here on Freesports. Plenty of shootout wins as well.
2 frames all and leading 1 set to 0.
It's been a very successful couple of years for Jordan. 2017, 2018, very good on the IPA tour. 2019, incredible on Freesports on the shootout.
That's the sport of pool for you, isn't it? He's creamed that break. So much movement. And not a single ball down. And Mason is right in here. This could be a very quick re-rack for our referee Donna Evans, who we should mention, birthday today.
It is. Happy birthday, Donna, and it's actually her daughter's birthday yesterday.
been some big celebrations in the Evans household.
When you've made a mistake like Mason made in that previous frame, this is exactly what you need. The last thing you want, and almost the thing you expect, is your opponent to have another opportunity straight away and almost double the pain. But he has got the opportunity to forget about that miss, get himself back in front in this set. Although that positional shot is going to make things tricky. Didn't need the flick on the yellow, wanted to be a good foot further up the table.
Well, we're into the second frame, and we've finally, it's a great shot. Oh, he's just all right. As we hear from our referee, Donna, the 15-second shot clock is in operation for the first time in the second set. We didn't get around to it in the first.
Yeah, what's going on? These two are slowing down. Only 4 frames in the first 15 minutes. Well, let's just overhit another positional shot. He's just letting things run a little bit loose. He's recovered the situation a couple of times in this visit, but he's going to have to do so once again. Needs a good cannon on the yellow. This could easily go wrong. This could easily go wrong.
I'm not sure he's even got the double to get him out of trouble yet. We thought that last time.
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying
we
nothing.
thought wrong.
Possibly cushion first. No, he's going to go into it directly. He was thinking about a treble off the yellow, which is, well, very, very tough. But it's another frame that's got away the one that he should have won.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hit and hope from Mason Penny in the end. 15-second shot clock was ticking sharply, and that's probably the first occasion that he would have wanted 30 seconds to really think about his shot.
Jordan was just a bit straighter than he wanted to be. He couldn't do much with the positional side of the shot. Back into perfect position now. In an ideal world, we'd like to play the one at the bottom first. Didn't quite come far enough down the table. No problems.
Probably a little trickier than you would have liked, but not a problem for Jordan Shepherd. 3-2 in the second set. And this is what Mason Penny's up against. These are our shootout events that we've seen here on Free Sports, and Jordan Shepherd has been almost unstoppable. The only men to stop him: Liam Dunster via a black ball shootout in Doncaster, Simon Fitzsimmons by a miracle in Aberdeen. And there's only been one final where we haven't seen Jordan Shepherd, and that was in Milton Keynes with Liam Dunster taking the victory there. It's a phenomenal record, and it's special.
It is, and it's worth pointing out the one final he didn't make. He came up against Liam Dunster in the quarterfinals, and you know, that's a tough draw, and it could have gone either way. Actually, he had a good chance to win that match as well, and I think he missed a double to win the match in the last couple of minutes. And it is an incredible record, it really is.
Because like any individual sport, pool's not exempt. You know, we think about the greats of any individual sport. You know, take whoever you want. You know, Federer, Tiger Woods, from golf and from tennis. They don't win every event. They may well be some of the best ever, but it's just not possible to win every event. But that's why that makes that record so unique, and that he is so almost bizarrely consistent. There's a foul's call against Mason Penny there.
Yeah, I think he called it on himself, which is good to see, although it is another careless mistake. You see, he just feathered the red with his hand. But yeah, just going back to Jordan, and one thing that Jordan's had labelled against him his whole career as well is that he's not a consistent player. He's always been a guy that when he plays well, he wins tournaments, but he's never been considered as consistent, although I would caveat and say the 2018 season at the IPA Tour, he'd found the level of consistency that wasn't there previous to that. But on the shootout, he has been incredibly consistent.
And without even necessarily playing his best ball at times either.
No, I think that's... and Jordan will be the first to say that there are times where he hasn't played his best ball, but he's found a way to win. Maybe a couple of opponents have probably suffered from the hands of the fact that they're playing Jordan Shepherd and the star of the shootout, and almost given him an easy ride. And then a few times he's got away with the performance, but whenever he needed a clearance, whenever he needed to find something, he always had it.
And he's about to go one from home in this second set as well. There's been plenty of good moments for Mason Penny. Really has. He's played well generally. A couple of errors, and that's all it takes at this level. A couple of big errors at the wrong time, when all of a sudden he is staring down the barrel of 2-0 down, and almost backs to the wall at that stage. Needs to remember playing for a place in the quarterfinals against Alex O'Donoghue. Under the 3 of the quarterfinals are coming up on the 21st, 22nd and 23rd of the month. And then we have another section of 3 games of 1 quarterfinal and 2 semis. About a week later, the final on the 4th of August of the Super Series pool. And some of the matches there are frankly mouth-watering. And bang.
Yeah, straight away. You were just mentioning about Mason and the fact that he's played well in parts, and he has, and he'll look back at this set and he'll feel he's 4-2 down. He probably should be 4-2 up in terms of the chances he's had. Just a couple of mistakes have cost him a frame here and there, and all of a sudden you're 4-2 down instead of 4-2 up, and having already lost the opening set where he did very little wrong, you are really up against it.
It's actually come out okay for him, I think. Yellow to the middle pocket, I think he's on, although looking from that camera it might not be.
The overhead tells a different story. I thought it was on initially. We had another gap though. That's a good pot.
It really was. Threaded the needle there to the top of the table.
Played that with quite a bit of right hand side. I'm not sure if he just needed to move the white a fraction or not. He's in full flow, isn't he?
There are few better to watch when they are in full flow.
The white's close.
And this fella.
He's having a look. The jaw of the pocket hit the white so far beyond the cushion that he might not be able to see the potting angle of this black. Yeah, he's had to swerve that. He's had to swerve the white. Wow. That is a careless mistake of his own, and there is still time in this set for Mason Penny. 7 minutes 20 on the clock is plenty when you play at the pace of Mason, although you can't afford to miss.
Not a gimme, he is snookered, but you'd expect Jordan Shepherd to make this.
Where's the white? Where's the white?
But wow.
Lifeline. That is a lifeline for Mason. That really is. He's already at the table waiting to break off. That's quite incredible.
That's a real gimme. It really is. It's just what Mason Penny would have wanted. It's now 4-3 in this second set. Easily enough time for 2 more frames. Here's a shot. Is this careless from Jordan?
No, it's not. The careless part of the frame was not landing on the black nicely first time round. That's a little bit unlucky. You're trying to swerve it off the cushion and just clip the black, and it just caught it just that fraction thinner than was perfect. So I wouldn't class that as careless.
Jordan Shepherd still is only 1 from home, and he's back at the table here. And already back in and amongst the balls. The break has let Mason down a little bit tonight. He's got a lot of movement on the black, which he's talked about himself in the lead up to this match, but an awful lot of dry breaks.
I was watching him break quite a lot in practice, and he's got a friend here with him, and in practice this afternoon before Jordan arrived, he spent a long time on the table where his friend was racking the balls up, he was breaking, they would just re-rack the balls up and he was breaking. So he had a lot of breaks trying to find a spot that worked. And the one thing I would say from the breaks I saw, and I didn't see them all, was that he was putting a lot of effort to try and get the black in motion, but more often than not, he wasn't getting particularly good splits. So I don't know whether he's compromised the quality of the break to try and get the black in motion, or whether it's just not happening for him on this table.
Jordan Shepherd is 2 pots away from 2-0 hit.
He wants the black to go into the top left. I think he can still get to the top left of the table. He can. He had to almost punch that in and come up the left-hand side rather than screw directly back.
This for 2-0. And Jordan Shepherd is there. He's got away with a few moments in that second set. It hasn't been plain sailing, but he is 2-0 up and 1 away from a place in the quarterfinals. The third set is next. Do not adjust your watches. You are right on time. We've already had 2 sets down. It's been brilliant entertainment so far. Did you expect anything less from Jordan Shepherd, Simon? He's turned up a man on a mission tonight in the Super Series.
Yeah, he turned up looking very, very sharp. First set played very, very well. Second set, you know, nothing Mason could do in the first set. Second set, Mason has had his chances. He just didn't make the most of them, and he let Jordan off a few times, and you can't do that against a great champion like Jordan.
Well, he is 1 from home, Jordan Shepherd. 3 sets would mean he is in the quarterfinals to face Alex O'Donoghue. I'm sure Alex is at home somewhere watching this one with a little bit of interest, as we see Mason Penny take another break on. He has been getting a lot of movement on the black. Doesn't, on that occasion, doesn't get a good split at all. It's probably the worst break he's hit all match, and that's not a good time to do it.
Sorry.
And a really bad time to do that. Jordan's just going to play the safety here. There was nothing on for him. It's a tough split, this. I don't think either player really wants to take on the finish with how the balls are currently laid up.
Often the way with a poor break, and it was Mason's worst of the match, and you get those poor splits, and then it gets a bit congested at the bottom end of the table, and neither player really has a finish they want to go for. First frame like we've had like this, where it's going to be a little bit cagey.
Just have our referee Don Evans remind the players to keep their distance as much as possible. There's been a carousel-like system exhibited, as you can see there, perfectly demonstrated, just to keep the players apart as much as possible. Just the current nature of the UK lockdown. There's no one else in the arena with them. All the cameras you can see are operated from afar. Lots of measures in place to make this as safe as possible for everyone involved.
Jordan just slightly annoyed with his last visit. He wanted to leave the red right over the pocket, limit Mason's options of safety. He hit it too hard. Took on a big shot to the middle pocket, because these yellows aren't too bad now. We've had a couple of cagey shots to open things up, but all these yellows, apart from one, have a pocket, and there's a ball close enough to it that you feel he's going to get an angle to try and develop it. It's a good chance for Mason to get into this frame. Reasonable nudge. Wasn't trying to get the cannon on that yellow, although the angle he has on it to the centre, he is going up the table, not down the table, and you can see he's trying to work out how he can develop the yellow below the red in the bottom half of the table. The yellow goes past him to the bottom right. It's not an angle unless he wants to come on and off the left-hand side cushion to develop these two. Well, that's what he was
exactly
trying.
what he tried to do, yeah. I'm not sure if he exactly had that angle by the look of how he played that. It was a tough one. And in getting so far through his clearance, he's cleared a path really for Jordan to take these reds out. He's still got problems though.
It's the same problem for Jordan as it was for Mason, although you can see Jordan's just easily left the perfect angle. He can just clip into the red and yellow now. Pace he plays out will be interesting. Doesn't want to make things worse. Played it at a pace where he was trying to get the red out into the open.
Notice when Jordan plays, he's not, this is a ridiculous thing to say, but he's not the most controlled player when he plays his cannons. He quite often likes to get a bit of pace on the ball and get a bit of movement in amongst. He doesn't tend to like the fine, almost tuning through the minefield of the pack. He likes things out in the open.
Yeah, if you compared him to other top players like, say, Mark Farnsworth, Liam Dunster, maybe Mark Boyle, who, you know, like to be quite precise, like to get the precision on their cannons and things like that, then he's a different type of player. There's a lot more movement on his cue ball when he plays his patterns. He does play the white around the table with lots of spin and really make things happen that way. But it works for Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely not a wrong way to do it, as we are witnessing. And then it's 1-0 in the third set for Jordan Shepherd. It's a really good shot to develop black in the end. Had to make that angle.
He would have preferred to be straighter on it so that he could just go down and land on the black, but had the angle to go into it, had to take it, and he's done that very well. Jordan plays with a style and a way around the table that you have to be a very good player to play at. You wouldn't, if you were, you know, if I was trying to say, you know, coaching a player, say, you wouldn't say follow his style, because he's doing things with the cue ball and he's moving the white around the table that other players just can't do. You've got the simpler patterns, the quality patterns of someone like Mark Farnsworth or Liam Dunster, where they're trying to make the game as simple as possible. But for Jordan, it's very entertaining to watch, and it's very impressive what he does on the table.
And the break is returned for the Welsh Wizard. That's an absolute hammer. And he's got rewarded with a decent split. Playing the balls down as well. Yellow's a choice. It's a bit of a loose one.
He's just come back for the double, and I think he might have come back just too far. Maybe he can play it with some screw. Yeah, he's just got a little bit of screw onto the cue ball there, and that straightens the pot up off the cushion. The natural angle for that, the way he played it, would have been to be a bit wide. Good control. And now everything's open.
I don't think I've heard a single beep from either of these players so far in the 30-second shot clock. They are flying through. It's great to watch. Both players have played their part in that.
And I said this earlier on, this is Jordan Shepherd's natural pace. He's not sped up because we're playing with a 30-second and 15-second shot clock. This is his natural pace. You'll see him play like this in a professional tournament where there is no shot clock.
2-0 in the third set. And Mason Penny has got his work cut out here. Really does. 12-4 in frames, but it's even then it's the set's the real problem. 2-0 down. He can't afford to make any more mistakes really from this point on. 2 sets and 2 frames down in the third.
Yeah, interesting stat for me looking down that list is the 5 missed pots for Jordan over the 3 for Mason. Mason actually hasn't missed that many pots. He's made a few positional errors. There's a couple of times where he's not got on the black. He's not won a frame where he really should. And a couple of the missed pots that Mason's had have been big missed pots. You know, missing a pretty simple black when the frame was really in the balance in set number 2.
He'll be delighted to see his break return. That's the best break Mason's hit in a long time. Really got into that nicely. He's rewarded with a bit of a curious spread. I'd imagine yellows will be the play here, but this is a tricky opener. That's a really good shot. Really good shot. Oh, and then the much simpler one to the top of the table doesn't go. That's such a good opener.
It really is, and he had to be so careful with the black as well. Look how close the black has gone to the corner, and then that's the hard work done. From that point on, all the yellows are open. All you've got to do is mind your work, make sure of the pots, and you're home free. And he misses a relatively simple pot to the top corner, and okay, I wouldn't say he's given away the frame, because these reds are horrible, but he's allowed Jordan into a frame where he really shouldn't be playing a shot in.
Total snooker.
Yeah, this is the miss. And it's a bad one. No two ways about that. Mason Penny does have a potential reprieve as he's back at the table. It's not often you see Jordan Shepherd try and play safe, but the Reds really were awful as he came to the table. They weren't nice at all.
He's got 4 of his reds that are tied up and he can't do anything with. This is really tough for Jordan. Only 2 in the open, and it's hard to play a good safety as well.
He's almost constantly got to be wary of kicking one of the balls towards the corner pocket and potting the black as well. You can see there from the overhead, he can't squeeze that red in past the black. It's a real problem for him. This is requiring some really quite elite level puzzle solving.
That's a very good shot, that really is. Although he's been very unlucky. The 2 reds at the bottom of the table double kissed to stop them both going away from the corner where the black is. And one of them's gone up the table into the area where it doesn't go at all. So he may have the snooker, but Jordan was a little hard done by that.
That's an important hit for Mason Penny, that.
Now Jordan may have an opportunity here to play the red onto the cushion, into the yellow, and move that yellow towards the red and try and block up that pocket for Mason. He would be taking a little bit of a risk if he took that shot on, because he would leave yellows on whilst doing so. He's decided to go a different way. It hasn't worked.
I'm not sure what his play was there. Generally, in a tactical battle like this, you don't really see a player take a pot on. There's a good reason for that. It's not that they can't. It's that you want balls on the table to be able to play with. It's a big thing. And Mason Penny here should be able to go game from this position.
Jordan wanted that white to travel down and get pretty close to the black. Try and block off all the yellows with the red. The white's nearest now. But yeah, he's been fighting a losing battle in this frame ever since he first got to the table. That's not helped Mason.
Well, he was home and clear there, wasn't he, if he hadn't have put that yellow pretty safe. Just wonder if he can sneak on it with a little screw shot here, or if he does try and free it up. He does. Still got 1 red blocking.
It's going to be a tough yellow. He's just going to be happy to have a shot at it. Oh, and he needed another 2 or 3 inches on that. Now this is beyond tough. This really is. Prodded himself into trouble here.
Oh, what a shot.
Word. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. That is one of the greatest shots we've seen in this event so far. Absolutely brilliant.
You see the respect shown from Jordan Shepherd there. He knows how difficult that was. That is a stunning pot.
If you take the red away and leave Mason that angle, we'd be talking about that being an incredibly tough pot. You put the red there and have to queue over the red. It's all but impossible to make the shot he's just made.
Amazing. Amazing. And you get the sense he needed that, Mason Penny. Give him a little bit of confidence. It's a big frame for him to win. He's got to win plenty more to have any chance in this match. Jordan Shepherd still leads 2-1 in this 3rd set. Cue ball nearly took out our camera there, as you see.
He'll be very pleased with that. From Jordan's perspective, that previous frame it's so easy for him just to just wipe that one away and forget about it, because it was a frame he was never in. Although he got some shots in it, he was odds against getting an opportunity to win it. And okay, it took a great shot from Mason to win it in the end, but it won't affect Jordan really. He's just on to his next opportunity, and it's another very good opportunity that he's made look very, very easy.
Yeah, he was fighting the house there with a pair of twos, wasn't he? It was really, really difficult life for him. And as you can see, don't think he's been too affected by the loss in that frame. This frame has lasted all of about 25 seconds. It is 3-1.
Impressive stuff from Jordan. Back-to-back break dishes, really is flying tonight. I've been very impressed. I wondered what Jordan Shepherd would turn up. Would he turn up sharp, or would he be a little bit rusty? Well, he's answered that question. He is very sharp.
Yeah, hasn't he just? Reminder of what we're playing for. Battle of current and former world champion in the quarterfinal there. Perhaps the headline draw as Gareth Hibbert takes on John McAllister. Sean Story versus Aaron Davis is a great game. Mark Farnsworth, David McNamara has great potential as well, let me tell you. And we take a look there at the break from Mason. It's come up dry, and Jordan Shepherd is in again. And a great chance to head into a 4-1 lead and go one from home. He's a man in a hurry, a man on a mission.
Just the one red to work out. Red second from the corner on the left-hand side. That doesn't go past the yellow. It does now. That's a great shot. A delicate cannon.
15-second shot clock in operation.
15-second shot clock is now in use. And never has a statement mattered less, I don't think, than in this game. Both players are not really too fussed by that. He's just about okay. A little puff of the cheeks from Jordan Shepherd. He's still through okay. It's a little delicate one. Just holds the white enough. And this to go one away from the quarterfinals. Brilliant. Brilliant. Jordan Shepherd about to break for a spot in the last 8. This is his last one. Take a look at how high that ball goes in the air. It's not necessarily a good thing when that happens, but I mean, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world either.
When the players are reaching back for extreme power and they're not queuing absolutely parallel, the white is actually, if you super slow mode it down, the white is bouncing down the table. So when you've got that much power on and you just catch it wrong, the white can actually jump up. We see it with a lot of players. There are some players that we see that get that sort of height almost every break, and Jordan's one that can get the height on the break, and every now and then he'll have one that jumps off the table and it will cost him a frame, but it's just what can happen.
He's made a ball. He's made a ball, and Mason Penny might have played his last shot in the tournament here. That is the reality of it. Reds look pretty open here for Jordan Shepherd.
Jordan would have preferred full ball cannon on that yellow, stay on the red into the left centre pocket, but it's come far enough that he's got other options. He's in full flow, isn't he? He really is.
Been brilliant to watch, it really has. Two more shots for a spot in the quarterfinals. At times, Jordan Shepherd has made this game look almost fancifully easy. That is the king of the shootout, at his very, very best. Jordan Shepherd is in the quarterfinals of the Super Series. In no time at all, we'll speak to the Welsh Wizard next. Welcome back to the Super Series on Freesports. Stephen Jameson and Simon Webb still with you this evening. We've just witnessed a demolition job by the shootout king, Jordan Shepherd. If you're joining us to catch the game between Jordan and Mason, news update, you've just missed it. He was a man in a hurry. We can bring in tonight's winner and quarterfinalist Jordan Shepherd. Now, Jordan, a big congratulations, mate. That was some performance. How do you feel?
Thank you very much. I felt a bit edgy the second set, but other than that, yeah, just like I'd never been away.
Jordan, congratulations, great performance. I've been there at most of the shootouts, and although you've won events and you've played some really good pool, for me, that was probably your finest performance in this version of the game.
Probably, yeah, because at usual shootouts, it's a little bit stop-start because you've got to wait for other matches and stuff. But there, I could really find my groove, and I felt good, yeah. Like I say, a little bit edgy second set, but other than that, a few loose shots, but overall really happy, yeah.
We had a chat in the grand final in Aberdeen, and although you made the final of that event, you were pretty down on the way that you were playing, and you were considering what you were going to do, you know, this year as it comes. But we've been in lockdown. Do you think that break has freshened you up? Because you look so sharp today.
Yeah, 100%. Just so happy to be back playing, to be honest. Definitely lockdown's done me a favour with the break. Not having to worry about practicing, anything like that, no matches. Aberdeen, I felt like, I know I got to the final, as you say, but I was awful. I know it was a crazy finish, but I was dreadful at that event, and I had a serious think afterwards. And I didn't really play then until the first IPA, which is in March. I played okay there, and then obviously we went out into lockdown. So yeah, I think it's definitely done me a favour.
I think the performance tells that, mate. If we look ahead through this competition, you've now got Alex O'Donoghue lined up in the quarterfinals. What do you make of him as an opponent? Someone I'd imagine you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, he's actually beat me a few times, and I've played awful against him. But I feel like this is my tournament, so it'll be a different game for sure.
Is that what you thought when you saw the Invitational go out for this competition? Obviously, it's shootout. We know you've won plenty of these events before, but with it being a longer format, was it something a bit different for you? Were you expecting it to be different, or did you just think it was a good chance to show off just how good you can be at this sort of pace?
Yeah, definitely different. Obviously, the shootout is great for the one-day event, but this concept, I think, it's really good, and obviously I felt great there, but it stops all the slow play that the people just want to see attacking pool, and this obviously is the perfect opportunity to do it.
And a word for your opponent as well tonight, Mason Penny, a shootout rookie, and he had his moments tonight, especially in that second set. It gave you a couple of worries.
Yeah, the first set was big. Even the first frame, he broke. He had a pretty easy finish, and he played the double, and he missed the double. I felt like he could have potted a red, made shrews on reds, and then that could have settled him a lot earlier. But yeah, his break really got to him. He didn't get hardly any chance off it, and I kind of not felt sorry for him, but you can sympathise because I've had it done to me so many times before, where the break dictates the match, and then you don't get any chances from your own break.
We're now into the quarter-final stage of this tournament. There's no more easy games, not that there were anyway, but the lineup is absolutely fantastic. Have you been watching the tournament? What do you make of what we've seen so far?
Yeah, I've watched quite a bit. Won't say loads, but I've watched more than usual. Farnsworth played very well his match. He looked sharp, really fast. Who else was there? McAllister looked a bit ropey, but that's to be expected, I suppose, with the lockdown and hardly anyone having any practice, really.
Well, we can't wait to watch you in your quarter-final. Congratulations again on a brilliant performance.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, there goes Jordan Shepherd. Simon, it was interesting to hear from Jordan there, especially when you consider what you mentioned about him taking a bit of a break from the game, because he has been such a rhythm player in the past, but taking that break, there's no doubt it's helped his game. The way he performed tonight was remarkable for someone who's barely played.
Yeah, he said to me before that if he's not playing every day, he feels rusty. He feels like he's a guy that needs to be on the table day in, day out, and really putting the time in on the table to play to the level that he can. But he was down at Christmas. He wasn't playing like he knows he can, not just in the shootout, but in all tournaments. He had a poor year on the IPA tour as well, and that break I think really has done him some good. It's reminded him how much he loves the game and how good he is, and he's come back with that freshness, and that performance is absolutely fantastic. For me, it's one of the best performances we've seen from him in this format of the game.
And what about in terms of what we've seen so far in the Super Series? We've now seen everyone play. We've got our list of quarter-finalists. I can't think of many better performances than what we've seen tonight, Mike.
Well, Mark Farnsworth's performance does come to mind. When we saw that was his first taste of the shootout pool, and we questioned what would the 15 seconds do to him, and the answer is not a lot. He played so fast and so well. He had 13 finishes from the break, but this performance from Jordan tonight absolutely rivaled it. They've been the best two players so far, although everybody that's got through has played really, really well in patches.
Yeah, let's take a look at the quarterfinal line. Then Sean Story versus Aaron Davis is a really, really good match on paper. Aaron looked brilliant in his performance against Emma Cunningham. But I'd probably say the standout match there, if I had to pick one, was Gareth Hibbert against John McAllister. Neither really played to the level we know they can, but I think just getting back into the swing of things will really help the pair, and that's the current world champion versus a former world champion.
Yeah, on paper, probably it is the biggest match. John McAllister is the current world champion. He's been one of the best players in the world for 2 or 3 years now, and Gareth's been one of the legends of the game. Both players had to work very, very hard, but one thing that stood out for me is that both players stepped up when the match was really on the line, when they needed to, and they played their best stuff when they're under the most pressure. Probably the match of the tie, but I think all 4 ties, there's a story in there, and they are all mouth-watering matches.
Yeah, and you just can't help but looking further along into the semi-finals, potential combinations there. It's a mouth-watering prospect. We've really enjoyed the Super Series so far. We hope you have too. And we've got a bit of a treat for you as well. If you didn't catch the game between Sean Story and Simon Fitzsimmons last night, we saw an incredible second set. We won't spoil it for you because that is coming up next. Sean is now at the table. And this is the miss from the end of the last set. Pots that. And he is all but won the set in missing it. He gave it to Simon Fitzsimmons. And it's a real aberration from Sean because it's a pot that he just doesn't miss. It's a 99 out of 100 shot, that.
Just so bizarre. He'd played so well, waited and waited and waited to get his opportunity. It was 2-2 at that time with about 3 minutes left on the clock. He waited, he got that opportunity, and then to sort of throw it away, it's a big mistake. Of course, he got to break, and the next frame came up dry, and Simon made a very quick reverse dish to make sure of the set. But this is set play, and set play does allow you to forget things like that. This is where he needs to absolutely just wipe that from his mind, reset, go again, and win this set. He's just, nothing else matters other than this race to 5, the next 30 minutes. I always think, the mental side of this game, if you can be strong enough to say, right, I'm going to forget about that, I'm just going to focus on the next shot, and the next shot, and the next visit. But it's when you make your next mistake and you walk away from the table, when he will make other mistakes. We've seen it all. It's pool. It's sport. You will make more mistakes. It's how you deal with those. But if the next mistake he makes, he'll be walking away, and that will be in the back of his mind. Then I've thrown away the first set.
Yeah, this first frame becomes massive for Sean. He's plotted his route through these reds. He's done it well. This is as simple a black as the one he missed 5 minutes ago. He needs this, you feel. A little bit wobbly, but he's there. He is is there, and that's an important frame for Shaun Storey to win. It really is. And he won't care that it wobbled a little, but it's down, and that's all that matters. Here's his recent tournament history. He got himself a win on the IPA Tour recently in October. He won the Isle of Man Amateur, and Jordan Church's a very, very decent opponent to be playing in the final of that one, a 7-3 win. And elsewhere, a familiar story for an amateur on the circuit at the minute. They end up going against the likes of Rob Donkin, Ben Davis, Mark Boyle in early rounds of tournaments, and there's absolutely no disgrace in losing to some of the best players in the world.
It's the nature of the beast with the IPA Tour. There are so many top players. The fields are so deep week in, week out, and that's what you've got to do. You know, he's had to fight his way through to earn his professional status. He's turned professional this year, but he starts off as a lower ranked professional. That means he's going to have tough draws every week, and yeah, he's going to have to almost kick on from making a professional status and go to that next level. But it's the same story for Simon. Simon's turned professional this year as well. I think they're ranked 51 and 54 on the tour, and they're going to have to climb their way through the rankings. I think Simon said in his pre-match interview that his target was top 32, and that's where you know, that's the first step to get the you know, slightly easier draws. Top 16 then gets a little bit easier again.
And we talk about momentum an awful lot in this Super Series, because the longer format, the set format, really does allow it to be swung all over the place. And a poor break from Simon, it came up dry, and Shaun's in at the balls here, and he's going to come up way short there. Way short. I was just about to say, the chance to arrest the momentum in the last set and get himself back on track. Well, he's 6-7 inches off.
He was trying to nip that one really quickly to get very quick spin on the ball. You want to play a screw shot, but not with pace, so that the slower you play it, the quicker the spin happens, and he could come on and off the cushion, and he just completely mistimed it. He's decelerating on the shot, missed the pot by a long way, didn't reach the pocket. It's a bad mistake.
And after a pretty poor break from Simon, he's a really good breaker of the balls. Didn't get into the one that he hit at the start of the frame at all. Now a decent chance. This is his toughest shot, and he's played that really cleanly.
Just overhit the positional shot. Good pop round the rail. Now he's got an angle coming down the table. Will be tricky.
Wobbled, but actually made its way down. And just feel like both players are battling a little bit here to find a bit of form in the early going. You know, we almost forget about it now because we have talked about it in most of the games that we've seen on the Super Series, but someone's barely hit a ball in 3.5 months. It is tough to get back to where you once were.
It's not just... Oh, it's another bad missed pot. I was just about to say, it's not just missing balls. It's, you know, Shaun mentioned it, he's got a table at home, he can practice all he wants, but it's not having that match practice, that match sharpness. You can play all you want in practice. It's not the same as being out there and playing in a competitive match like this. Oh, looks like Shaun is eyeing up another skill shot. Yellow onto red, needs the yellow to follow it in. Not this time.
Foul. 1 free shot, 1 visit.
And that actually was the perfect angle.
Time.
That showed how difficult a skill shot is. And Simon, let's talk this back. This needs to be absolutely plumb.
Yeah, the key to these shots, there's so much said about skill shots in the game and so many different myths. The key to that shot, it's simple. You have to hit the red onto the yellow, or the yellow onto the red as it was in this occasion, as full as possible. If you get them absolutely full ball, the ball will just follow it through and they both would have go in. You can see on that one we had a perfect camera angle to see he had it just off full. Ball goes onto the cushion and he gives away the foul. And I would say the frame, but Simon's left himself very awkward on this black.
This is horrible. It's really not easy, this. Doesn't have to worry about the white ball. Where is the black going? That's a great part under pressure. And Simon Fitzsimmons squares things up at the start of set 2. This is Simon's most recent tournament history. Had a good run at the UK Professional before being ousted by the Duster. 8-2, and a similar story actually to what we talked about with Sean's, but what Simon has on his resume, which isn't listed here, is the victory in the grand final in 2019 in December against Jordan Shepherd, which always is more relevant to this form of the game especially. He is a player to be watched in this shootout format. 3 finals and a victory to his name.
With everything that he's done on the shootout, I've been watching his results on the IPA tour and almost waiting for him to go deep and win a break.
That's his Bible.
Yeah, just going back to Simon, just you know, waiting for him to almost win a tournament or go deep, and it's not quite happened for him on the tour. Obviously, he had that one run in 2017 to the World Championship final, but since then it's been some steady performances, but nothing to really write home about. And I've been slightly surprised because he really is a big-time player. Possibly some frustration in that break from Sean, really letting out a little bit of anger, really got through that ball.
Didn't he just? 2 yellows and 2 reds down after the break. It's a rather harsh spread for someone who's just potted 4 balls off the break. It's not the easiest lie, really. Could argue he deserved a little bit better, but reds are the choice, and he's got a tough shot coming up here.
It's often the way, and another great champion once said this to me, that Simon Ward, he was talking about the break, he would rather make 1 ball off the break than 4. You know, most people would be like, let's make as many balls as possible and open it up, but his theory is that if I only make 1 ball off the break, I've got more balls on the table to be able to negotiate a pattern around the table to be able to make the clearance, and that's what's happened here.
That was a really tough shot. And he's unlucky there, Sean Story. I think you could definitely argue that he deserved a little bit better. That was a really, really tough pot. And these yellows aren't particularly kind for Simon. He's got to be quite careful here what he does. Black is obviously a problem ball for Simon, who is yellows.
The yellows are solvable. The 2 yellows at the bottom of the table, you could turn those into a plant if you wanted to, but they would be difficult. So I'm not surprised to see him play the safety shot. So I was about to say that the black is not an easy ball to solve. You probably have to leave it till your last ball to try and move it, or leave it there for a double. So wise decision to play the safety shot, especially as it feels like Sean's, I wouldn't say on the ropes, but he's just having a bit of a wobble. Don't make it easy for him to sort of get a frame on the board.
Yeah, a bit of a shot to nothing that from Sean. He knew the white would end up pretty safe. Doesn't give away an easy shot for Simon, and would have pretty much won him the frame.
It's going to be interesting to see what Simon does. It's difficult for Simon to play a safety shot that's going to earn him a good opportunity. So why, you know, it's not really worth playing on. But then if he takes the finish on, you know, he's still got that problem with the black.
Grimace on the face of Simon Fitzsimmons. He has covered the potable red though, or has he? I think he's about to be laid into a pretty fine snooker here by the looks of this from Sean Story. A little drag shot and the white behind the red. That's pretty neatly played, but if that yellow goes into the middle, it could still be a problem for him.
I think Simon can see enough of this yellow to pot it. He wanted to leave the yellow at the top of the table. That was his ball to develop the black with. And now that's gone, it makes the black even harder. Does he leave the black where it is? He's guaranteed to pot the yellows if he wants to go for the finish. Does he leave the black where it is, try and get the white into the bulk area of the table and make a double? Or is he going to look for an angle to try and develop the black somehow?
So difficult to do that.
Yeah, you want balls near your problem area to be able to create an angle, to be able to go into your problem ball, but also it's what you're going to leave afterwards. If you leave the black to last to go into, then you're really asking for, you know, a bit of rub to go your way to be able to land on it. So I think best option, or the most controllable option for Simon is just to leave the black where it is and make a double. He has a choice choice here to make. He could go up towards the black if he wanted to, or he could pop this slightly thinner with a trace of side and just come up the centre of the table and leave the double. Both shots are on. He's gone for the move of the black, and that has got worse. The double is now not on.
A gamble.
So has he got cushion first? No, he's looking for another option. I was thinking cushion first into the centre. Probably not on.
Well, he's going to have to delve into the box of tricks here. Oh, the double was onto the top corner. It was on.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm not sure. That's absolutely brilliant from Simon.
Well, just the way that he looked there as he won the frame. Again, he had a slightly sheepish aura about him after winning the last set, and that's repeated there. He's got away with a couple.
But he was looking for other options. His first thought was what I was saying, was the cushion first. You could see it lining it up with a cue. So he wasn't convinced when it first came out like that the double was on, and he was looking for another option. So great shot in the end, though.
Certainly was. It's the penultimate round of 16 match. We just saw the draw there. Some brilliant players already into the quarterfinals. Three current and former world champions among their number. Gareth Hibbert, Mark Farnsworth, and current champ John McAllister.
He started the event with 4 IPA world champions. Cunningham's been knocked out. We also had 2 IPA World Championship runner-ups in Aaron Davis and Simon Fitzsimmons.
It's got the potential to really be an all-star quarter-final lineup, isn't it? It really does.
And of course, we've not seen the Shootout King yet. We have not seen Jordan Shepherd, who has pretty much owned this format of the game since it came to our screens.
The 15-second shot clock will be in action after this shot from Simon. So at this point he has to get his skates on around the table. Clearance is on for him. The yellow on the side cushion, Simon, is his problem ball. It looks pretty optimal for a double. Is that what he's going to leave, or do you think he's going to try and move it?
I think in an ideal world you probably want to move it, but the double is probably the best option. The reason I'm saying that, if you try and move it, it could easily go towards those 2 reds, and then you'd have no shot on it. Although he has left a decent angle to move it.
Speaking of doubles,
look how close he had to get to the red to make that double. He's played for it to the bottom corner. It's a good choice. When you get right behind these, you do fancy us making them. They look tough pots, and they are tough pots, but fancy Simon to go very close. Not this time. Oh, wow.
He can't believe it. He can't believe it. Well, it's another frame going the way of Simon Fitzsimmons. He almost looks embarrassed to have won it the way he has in the last couple of ones. He's got a little bit of luck going his way. These are the recent Shootout champions. We mentioned Jordan Shepherd has been the undisputed king, really, of this format, but Simon Fitzsimmons has been in 3 finals and won the last one. Jordan Shepherd, reminder, is in action tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss that. The only other winner, Liam Dunster, is not in this competition.
3 frames to 1 and 1 set to 0. Time running.
The invitational format was open to players based in England only, based on the lockdown restrictions at the time when the tournament was created. And then Sean Story, I'm starting to feel a little bit sorry for him, but he's just made a gesture there which says, well, what more am I supposed to do? He's creamed another break, made a few balls, and that's what he's rewarded with. He did have a shot, and he's done well to play it, and it might just open up the frame for him here.
Now he's just got the 1 yellow that's a problem. And he's he's sort of on it. This isn't easy, this isn't nice. He has to take it on. Cut back to the centre pocket. We've seen all tournament long, these centres play very tight.
This is tough. Romano's not on hot form and has been struggling to battle his way back into this match. That is not the type of shot you want to be playing. That's a tough shot for a player on top form and high on confidence. And at the minute, I don't think Shaun Story is particularly either of those things. Still a long, long, long way to go, as we not forget. But at this point in the match, Simon Fitzsimmons is odds-on favourite to go 2-0 up. But we were speaking to Simon before this game, Simon, off air about the set format, and he retold the story of a game he had where he lost one set 4-0, the second set 4-1, and won 3-2. It happens, and it happens all the time. And I think he was telling us a story there about his World Championship final run in 2017. It really is a format that invites comebacks.
It is. We've not seen it so far in this event. That's just not the way the matches have gone. But it's definitely a format where you can turn things around. And so you could win, you could lose the opening 10 frames. You're only 2 sets down. Then you somehow manage to win set number 3, and you're right in the match.
So let Shaun back in there. Again, I think he might have got away with one. You can see this red to the bottom left here as we look at it. And there it goes.
It's a big bounce. Needs a big bounce. It's just a touch short. This will still cut back. But the white's going away. You might have to play this with a tracer side. Try and hold the white. He's done that very well. Great shot. Although dead straight, back close to the cushion, isn't ideal. Just enough angle to punch up the table.
He's fighting these balls at the minute, isn't he, Simon Fitzsimmons? He's scrapping and clawing his way to form. But it's another frame on the board, it's 4-1.
I think some of the expressions we've seen from Simon, he knows he's not quite hit top gear, and he's almost had a couple of little rubs and knows that Shaun's thrown away a couple of opportunities, and that's why he's comfortably ahead.
Well, coming up for you on Free Sports after this match in the Super Series, we have Real Valladolid against Levante in the La Liga Santander. That is live La Liga action for you on Free Sports this evening. We'll follow us immediately following the conclusion of this match. And a reminder, tomorrow, quite a few people are quite excited for this one.
Time running.
Mason Penny takes on Jordan Shepherd. Simon there has broke right, and there's still just about enough time in this set for a titanic recovery.
That's what it feels like it would take, though. Shaun's not playing well. That's the problem. He's making mistakes, and the mistakes, the more the mistakes have come, the more almost edgy he started to look.
Just not going his way.
Been really surprised so far that the skill shot that Shaun made in his opening visit to the table, or opening frame that he won, was very impressive, and I thought that would settle him down and he would just find his rhythm. But he has made some mistakes to allow Simon into this match.
The run of the ball is with Simon Fitzsimmons at the moment. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Sometimes though, as a pool player, you feel like you bring that on. You know, Shaun's missed some pots. That pot that he missed that should have won in the previous set, you know, he's really going to be thinking about that and feeling that. And then when you make a mistake like that, you almost feel like, you know, I brought on this little bad run that you know, and you have to almost wrestle it away and get an opportunity, make a good finish, and then think, right, things are now going to go my way. I'm now going to get a couple of nudges.
Seven and a half minutes remaining of this set. It is not out of the question for Sean to rattle off 3 in a row. Mathematically, at least, the likelihood of that happening at this current juncture is unlikely, for all the reasons that we've just spoken about. But there should be 1 on the board, and he has the break for the next one. Back in it, 4-2, 7 minutes to go. And you can see what takes his spot at the top of the table. He's not going to wait an extra second longer to get this break underway.
And he has got the black in motion a lot from his breaks tonight, so he'll certainly be hoping to do so again and maybe try and get a really quick one with a golden break. There is still time. There is definitely time for a couple of clearances. There's time to win 3 frames and get the set wrapped up that way. But what he needs is chances.
Time running.
Oh, the black's in motion again. Wow, that black was flying around.
I'm amazed that's come up dry. The movement that he gets on the pack is tremendous. But them's the breaks. When it's not going for you, it tends just to not go for you. We noticed that yesterday. And Alex O'Donoghue made his golden break. He did that after winning, I think, 4 or 5 frames in a row, and it just seems to be such a momentum-based thing.
It just feels like that sort of sport at times. You make a mistake, you feel like you're always going to break dry. You make a clearance from nowhere, you think, oh, I'm going to make a ball and continue it. It's just the way you think as a pool player.
Goodness me. Absolutely volleyed that red into the corner there, didn't he?
Creating angles that aren't there. This is almost straight. Look at that white.
Crikey, O'Reilly.
Hasn't helped him. He hasn't landed on the next ball.
I'll tell you what, that's a shot there. Starting to put the exhibition shots together here. Simon Fitzsimmons, a couple of absolutely brilliant shots.
That plant's opened everything up. There is room to pop the red to the bottom left.
Well, this is for the set. Don't forget to race to 5. If Simon to clear here in the next 3 shots, it would ice the set for him, regardless of there being 4 minutes still to play. That's a canny little shot, and this, well, I was going to say, this should open it up, but I wonder if he's put that red a little bit too close to the left jaw. Does this cut?
Oh, his reactions tells me not. Oh, he's fouled trying to make it happen. There is still time here for Sean. There is 4 minutes 20 on the clock. This is a frame he now should win. And if he can win it in the next, say, minute 20, there's still going to be time. That's not a good shot, though.
No one knows that better than Simon Fitzsimmons sat in that seat behind him. 2.5 minutes. A reverse dish and a break-in dish, including a re-rack. That is how quick we know it can be done.
It still sounds far-fetched when you say it, and I was there. It's
and there's so much more time than that here. So much more. So it doesn't have to absolutely fly at these. Let's have the option 2, which he'll be delighted with.
The problem he's got is it's Simon Fitzsimmons' break. So he's going to need a dry break. Need some help.
That's that. It's 4-3. Sean almost back in the game. Reminder of those shootout champions. We've had quite a few go the distance in terms of the tournaments, and the final went the way as well.
Good opportunity showing that graphic that Simon won in Aberdeen. One of the guys that did so much and entertained us in Aberdeen, Martin McIntosh, had a new addition to the family today, little baby River.
Oh, well then, Sean Story, how much do you want it? Worst possible thing to happen for Simon Fitzsimmons. I mean, it's not bad luck, it's bad cueing. Let's put that white ball straight into the corner pocket. And he has time here, Sean Story. He has time.
And these are wide open. This isn't even. This is just don't rush. Don't risk losing this frame. Rushing, trying to get yourself an extra few seconds for the next break.
Having said that, though, Simon, if he can get through this quickly, he may well have enough time to break himself and maybe even win the set.
No, I agree, but don't risk moves. Just make sure of this. You know, get yourself to 4-4. Keep yourself in the match.
This is remarkable. Just needs to be on this black. He is. And Sean Story is going to have 90 seconds to win the set. This is amazing. Make sure of the black. He's done just that. We're all square. It's 4-4. We have 1 minute and 44 seconds and counting remaining of this second set. This is incredible stuff.
Pressure here on Donna. She's got to rack the balls up perfectly, quickly. She's got the Sean standing over her, wanting the ball.
You can't do it quicker than Donna does it. I'm absolutely convinced of that. Well then, Sean Story.
Frame 9, Sean
What have you got?
Break 4 frames all.
Let's have a look at the clock as he breaks here. 1:16. Can he do it?
For once, he doesn't get the black in motion, but he has made a ball. It's a congested pack, but he has an opportunity.
It's ironically his worst break of any that he's hit tonight. Needs this white ball to put some serious movement into the pack here. The yellows open up. The yellows open up. This is on.
If the yellow by the black goes to the bottom left corner, and I think this camera angle shows that it's probably just a little bit too tight. So he has one more ball to work out. It does go to the middle pocket. It does go to the top right-hand corner pocket. And he can get there from this angle.
No one knows better than Simon Fitzsimmons that this is possible. 30 seconds for the final 3 balls. He was 4-1 down in this set.
He's got to run around the table here. This is going to be tight.
Sean Story for a Herculean comeback out of nowhere has done it. How about it?
Absolutely incredible. How has he done that? He was gone, 4-1 behind. He was absolutely gone.
Well, that was last night, and me and Simon are never going to tire of watching that, I don't think. That phenomenal comeback from Sean Story against Simon Fitzsimmons, showing us the magic of Shootout Pool. This format really does give us so much entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, Simon, the reason why you're looking at our two faces and not the ones of Mason Penny and Jordan Shepherd, they're out the building. Jordan Shepherd did not hang about, a 3-0 victor tonight.
Jordan Shepherd was absolutely brilliant tonight. We saw the real Jordan Shepherd, one of his best performances in all of the shootouts, which is some statement considering he has won so many of the shootouts.
He really has, and we look forward now to the quarterfinals, which do look mouth-watering. We have Sean's Story against Aaron Davies. We've just seen what Sean's capable of in a shootout format. Aaron was fantastic in beating Women's World Champion Emma Cunningham 3-0 in round 1. Gareth Hibbert, John McAllister is a battle of the current and the former World Champion. Another former World Champion, 2019's version, Mark Farnsworth, faces off against David McNamara, who was streaky at times in his victory against Kyle Brown, but when he was good, he was really, really good. And that final quarter-final has been confirmed this evening. Alex O'Donoghue beat Gav Robinson 2 days ago. He takes on the king of the shootouts, Jordan Shepherd. It's a fantastic lineup for the quarters. They take place on the 21st, 22nd and 23rd of July. So we've got a bit of a hiatus, 3 weeks for you to just get ready, get set. What's going to be a fantastic set of matches. We cannot wait to join you then. From myself and Simon, though, and the rest of the team here in the West Midlands. Good night.
Too fast, too fly, too flaunty, too gas, too high, yeah, we on it. We go wherever the crew going. I'm ready, so tell me who want it.
This program is brought to you by Taom Billiards.